Hey all, welcome to another episode of the Back Channel. Today I want to talk about a question that I got asked last week that I think a lot of you can learn from. The question was, should I re-engage with investors who passed on me previously? Now I understand why this might be a difficult thing to understand because they passed on you, they didn't like you, they were rude to you in your head. Why would I ever talk to an old investor? Well, here's the first thing that people need to understand when it comes to investor passes. Investors don't want to pass. The only reason I think investors pass is because over the last 5 to 10 years, there's been a backlash from the media, from founder communities about investors who just ghost, who don't say anything. And while I understand where that push from the founder community comes from, what you guys don't understand is how difficult it is for investors to pass. You see, when an investor talks to you, they might not like what you have to say today, but in the back of their heads, they're always thinking to themselves, but what if, right? What if this person actually figures it out? What if the crazy thing they're talking about ends up becoming something big? What if? And so they would rather not pass on the deal completely because honestly, they'd rather see you make more progress and have another opportunity to invest in the future. Unfortunately, in order to make sure that people don't skewer them for ghosting or not saying anything or stringing founders along, they are being forced to provide clean passes. So this is why we get passes today. Otherwise, left to their own devices, investors would not pass. Now, because of that, you have to understand that investors realize that while things might not look good today, progress can be made and stories can change. So investors always kind of want to hear what has changed since the last time they talked to you. This means that any investor that you talked to in the past, whether or not they passed, is an opportunity for your next round or your next attempt to fundraise. Okay, so I've actually struggled with focus my entire life, which might be surprising to some people because I got good grades, went to good schools, got good jobs. But really, I was able to get that far in spite of myself. It's been a struggle all my life, and that struggle really came to a head once I became an entrepreneur. At that point, there was too much going on. I couldn't overpower my lack of focus. So I tried a bunch of things, planning apps, coaching, but nothing really made a dent. And then I started hearing about this special productivity drink, Magic Mind, and was super skeptical. Honestly, it wasn't until a friend gifted me some that I became a believer. When you take a little bit of this stuff, it's hard to describe, but there's like this feeling of focus that just washes over you, where all the things that normally distract you no longer do. And honestly, it's been a game changer for me. So I'm really excited because Magic Mind is sponsoring this podcast and offering up to 50% off your subscription if you sign up within 10 days of this airing. All you have to do is go to magicmind.co/funded or use funded as your promo code when you're checking out. Hope you guys try it out and that you like it as much as I do. Realize a few things. First is that you need to change the story before re-engaging them. The same exact story with the same exact metrics, with the same exact traction will not look differently just because time has passed. Things have to have been updated. You need to be able to tell a shift in the story, progress, discovery, etc. Secondly, make sure that when you do re-engage, you do so with a voice that doesn't say, "Oh my God, please, I'm begging you this time around. We'd love to have you come and invest in our company. Will you consider us?" Instead, you need to matter-of-factly let them know, "Hey, we are raising our next round. I know last time we talked, it wasn't a fit, but I still really liked you and I want to share the updates. We're running a full process again. We have got a lot of interest." You need to make sure that they understand you're a hot commodity. People want to invest in you. They need to reconsider their old opinions. And lastly, it's always good to have warm bodies who are interested in you to be part of a process. It gives you more opportunities to test out your story. It gives you more opportunities to reference other investors that are excited. And who knows, you could convince one of these former passes to change their mind and invest in you. It's happened plenty of times before, And I've interviewed founders who have done it. So the short answer is yes, you should consider old investors that passed in you previously to be part of your upcoming processes. Now, make sure it's not investors that pass because they are not an industry fit or a completely different stage fit. Those don't waste your time on. But if they had some matches in terms of why you would talk to them, but it just wasn't right for them then, it could be right for them now. Re-engage those old investors, have a great new story, and run the process. All right, that's this episode of the Back Channel. I'll see you next time.